What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and daily news, including money, investing, the stock market. We cover it all here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to click subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. Also, I am giving away $1,000 to my viewers here in total in our What's in the Box giveaway. We've done this so many times in the past, and I'm doing it again. I'll give you a clue to what's in that box at the end of this video, so make sure to watch all the way to the end and you'll get a clue to what's in that box. Also, this game is just so much fun. I've had thousands of people tell me they like just playing the game just because it's really cool to even try to guess what's in the box. So I'll give you a clue to what's in that box at the end of this video. Yeah, Dr. Anthony Fauci says be ready to pivot back to virus restrictions because the new virus variant BA.2 is lurking. You can see these headlines here. This virus has fooled us before. And here's how Fauci predicts the stealth Omicron variant will spread across the U.S. and that the Omicron subvariant BA.2 will soon dominate in the U.S. This new variant, which is basically Omicron 2.0, is more contagious than the original Omicron variant that basically led us to over 1 million cases per day. It's already here in the US in all states and just has not caught on enough to make it the dominant strain and enough to make it go viral, for lack of a better word. However, it did go viral in China, for again lack of a better word, and China locked down over 50 million people amid stealth Omicron fears. And the former FDA head predicts that, well, I don't know if we're going to have full-blown lockdown like they had in China because, well, they're China and we're the US, but I mean, you could let me know your thoughts on that. But China does have over 50 million people on lockdown. Yeah, and it's China's version of lockdown where you can't leave your home or more than once every 2 days, and only one person per household can leave your home, only for essential goods. Yeah, and also Europe is dealing with this as well. You can see here, European countries are now battling this version of BA.2 as well as they lifted restrictions. Some experts say too brutally, and now they're dealing with this as well. Remember that Europe and China typically deal with the new variants as well as South Africa before the US. So we typically see what happens there before the US does. So we'll have to see. I'll keep you updated. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this virus is over? Do you think it's gone and we're just it's going to fizzle away or keep cases low? Or do you think the headline here, this virus has fooled us before and we could see another massive outbreak sometime still yet in 2022? Meanwhile, none of this would be good news for President Biden as his approval rating has already fallen to a record low in a new NBC News poll. And while another wave of the variant or the virus would not be good either, I remember reporting back when former President Trump was president saying that this virus is not good for any president because nobody's happy with the virus that continues, and this is now we're in year 3 of it. I remember when Trump was president saying he's going to have a hard time being reelected because nobody's happy with the virus, a national virus that puts people on lockdown. They have to wear masks, and families are sick. And then now here we are in year number 3 Imagine being the president having to deal with that and now having to deal with a war that you're trying to tiptoe across and prevent World War III, but also people criticizing you because you're being you got people, like, the opposite party, Republicans, criticizing you that you're not being strong enough on Russia, and then you got people saying you're going to get us into World War III. Imagine you're the president, and I'm not like defending him or anything, but imagine if I was the president or you're the president, and you got people, some people saying you're not being strong enough with Russia, and then you got people saying don't get us into World War III. You're going to get us into World War III, and it's just like, what do you want me to do? It's just it's really tough out here, bro. And honestly, I said the same thing when Trump was president, and he wasn't even dealing with the war. He was just dealing just with the virus. And I remember doing a video saying, it's really tough for a president right now, just dealing with the virus. And now we got a virus and we got a potential World War III situation, and it's crazy right now. Yeah, President Biden's approval rating has reached a new low, according to an NBC News poll released on Sunday. Biden's approval rating declined to 40% in the survey, which found that 55% of respondents did not approve of how he is doing as president. In a January NBC News poll, Biden's job approval stood at 43%, while 54% did not approve of his performance. 7 out of 10 Americans questioned in the new poll expressed low confidence in Biden's ability to handle the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and other Western nations, the poll found. And 8 in 10 worry the tensions will result in higher gas prices for Americans and lead to nuclear war. Like I said, as I just mentioned, I mean, if I was president, I don't really know a lot more that I would be able to do. What are you going to do with Putin? I mean, yeah, the same survey found Republicans held a 2-point advantage when asked which party should control Congress following this fall's November midterm elections. And yeah, the Republicans may have an advantage here. We honestly might see some people switch their vote. And again, I'm not picking sides or anything, but we might see some people switch and vote the opposite because they want to see a change. And honestly, I think we've seen some people vote that way last time around as well, just because they wanted to see a change. And I honestly feel like we probably see that a lot where um, you know the world's not doing rainbows and butterflies, and the problem is we see that we're in a pandemic. We were in a pandemic last election. We're in a pandemic now, and remember that Biden's not up for re-election this time, but the House and the Senate are, and a lot of state governors are as well. A lot of mayors are as well for a lot of major cities. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of major shakeups, and that's why I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of major legislation try to get passed here. Cough, cough. Senator Joe Manchin. A lot of legislators need to step up to the plate. And if you've been watching my show here for a while, you know I'm literally not a Democrat or a Republican. I just say it how I see it. I'm a realist. Let's be real about things. Joe Manchin, if he wants his Democrats to win, if he still considers himself a Democrat, because I mean, in the last presidential Joe Biden's last speech here, the State of the Union speech, he literally sat with the Republicans. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But he sat with the Republicans, even though he's a Democrat. But he said he did it because he wants to spread unity between the two parties. I know. So, it's crazy, I know. But regardless, if he wants to, he's not up for re-election this year, by the way. But his time's going to be coming soon, along with Kirsten Sinema. I actually think that she's going to have a harder time being reelected than Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is actually kind of liked in his state. He's a former governor of West Virginia, and a lot of people thinks that from West Virginia He has a more support in West Virginia than Kirsten Sinema does in Arizona. But we'll see. We'll see. Everybody's time comes, and they get their time of reckoning comes, and they get voted on. I always hear the Nancy Pelosi and the Mitch McConnell thing. How does Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell get reelected? They get reelected like by a landslide. Almost every time. Now Mitch McConnell's last reelection was a little bit closer, but he just got reelected. He gets reelected for 6 years. 6 years. So he's going to be there till he's like almost 90, almost 90. So he just got reelected for 6 more years, guys. Nancy Pelosi is up for reelection because she's up every 2 years. All House of Representatives are up for reelection every 2 years. But she won last time by like the largest landslide ever. And again, I'm not choosing sides because I'm talking about Mitch McConnell for the Republicans and Nancy Pelosi. They both win. Nancy Pelosi's been there for like 30 years. Mitch McConnell's been there for like 30 years. Um, Nancy Pelosi's probably going to be there till she retires. Same with Mitch McConnell. Well, Mitch McConnell just got reelected for 6 years. So if he runs again, he'll be there till he's like 95. So if he wins and is reelected again. So, again, Joe Manchin's actually 75 years old. I didn't realize that he was that old, but Joe Manchin's actually 75 years old. I didn't think he was that old. He doesn't really look that old, but he's actually quite up there as well, believe it or not. Yeah. He does get a lot of criticism from around the country, but I feel like the West Virginians, I don't know how you say it. How do you say a West Virginia, a person from West Virginia? You can let me know in the comments. But I feel like the people of West Virginia are a little bit more behind him, um, per se. But the thing that could happen, people from West Virginia could elect a Republican. Now that could happen because remember he's a Democrat, and West Virginia has elected a lot of Republicans in the past. That could happen. I don't know if another Democrat will overcome him, but that could happen. But if you're a Democrat, seeing a Republican elected in that state and another Republican going to the Senate, that you might not want to see because then you're losing a Democratic seat if you're a Democrat. It's like the other team winning the game there. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a lot for reelection here. But remember, only 1/3 of the Senate goes up for reelection this November. Senators serve 6-year terms, and about 1/3 of senators go up for reelection every 2 years. So they kind of rotate every 2 years. Yeah, so Mitch McConnell was up 2 years ago and he won. But the House of Representatives, all of them go up for reelection every 2 years. So, but honestly, the way things are looking right now, a lot of people think that the Republicans kind of have and recent polls showed that Republicans do have right now with Biden's low approval rating. Remember, he's not up for reelection, but Democrats, because they're in control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and even Bernie Sanders has said in the past that history shows that the party in power, which is the Democrats right now, and remember the Republicans were in power back in 2017 to 2018, they controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They controlled everything not that long ago. Doesn't seem that long ago. Most people, if you're not a student of history, most people won't remember that. That's when they passed the 2017 Trump tax cuts with the reconciliation card. Where is that thing? I gotta find it. I think my son Julian might have taken it, or maybe my new kitten. Um, but the Republicans weren't able to hold on to it for very long either. They pretty much lost control of it after literally 2 years. So that's why the Democrats are kind of feeling the pressure right now, and that's why they're pushing Biden to do some executive orders. They're saying, "Hey, Joe Manchin, we got to pass some major bills." We did pass that $1,400 third stimulus check package all on our own as soon as Biden came in, but now the election's coming up, and is it enough? Are people going to remember that close to election time? Are we going to be able to pass more close to election time? People have short memories. You know what I'm saying? So that's the question here. So now with election time getting closer and closer and closer, it's kind of the remember the old saying, "What have you done for me lately?" People seem to remember that. Third stimulus checks long gone. You know what I'm saying? So What have you done for me lately? And that's why a lot of governors are passing stimulus checks now, and that's the kind of the what have you done for me lately? Yeah, so a lot of people are kind of remembering that, and then when they see, a lot of people have been asking in the comments, "Hey, what about my state? What about my state? What about my state?" And when people learn that their state has $10 billion of surplus or 20 billion, California's got $45 billion. California sent out money last year. Now they're going to send money out this year, whether it's through a rebate check or gas debit card or stimulus check. At least California is sending out, if they have a surplus, they're giving money back to their residents. That's what you should do. Now, of course, you don't send every penny of it back. You got to have reserves. You got to have money. I mean, it's just like a person, you keep an emergency fund there in case something goes wrong. You have money to pay for the heater, to pay for the air conditioner, pay for a transmission in your car, right? Just like the federal government, well, of course, the federal government has a deficit, but you're supposed to have a reserve account. A good financial bank or accountant or government is supposed to have reserves. I guess the federal government gets to print their own money, so that's their reserves. But California's doing what each state should. If you have $10 billion in reserve, or in California's case, $45 billion, you should give some money back to your residents, especially the ones that are hurting the most, which would be the poor and the low income and the middle low income, right? So now in 2022, remember, a lot of states just got that money at the end of 2021. The stimulus check package, the third stimulus check package passed at the end of March, really April. The states didn't get their money in April. I mean, the stimulus checks went out really in April, but the state money didn't go out in April. I don't remember when they got it, but it took them months to get that money. And we also remember that a lot of the states, in fact, the vast majority of states, only got half their money. Okay. So they probably just really started to get it in the second half of 2021. And remember that a lot of states, they have to vote on this. They have to vote on, where they're going to send the money, how they're going to do it. They do it in their fiscal budget, all these things. So really, to send the money out in 2022 is really the appropriate thing. State stimulus checks, pausing state gas taxes, what they're going to do, tax rebates for homeowners and renters, lowering taxes. Hey, all those are different kind of ways on how to give money back to their residents, right? Each state's doing it a little bit differently, but at least they're doing it, right? That's exactly what states should do. If you have a plethora of surplus money, more than enough money that you don't need it, right? You got to remember that billions is a lot, but you also got to remember that a lot of these states have a lot of people, right? So if you have millions and millions of people, 1 billion might not really be that much, because you could go through a billion like nothing. But when you start to get tens of billions of dollars, it's enough to where you could be like, maybe we should give some of it back to our residents, especially the people that need it. And that's what I would do if I was governor. I'd be like, let's think about this. I personally wouldn't send, some of these stimulus checks or tax rebates, they're sending them out to like people that make up to $164,000 and stuff. I would lower that dramatic. You don't need to give a check out, a $500 check, $600, $800 check out to people that make that much. It's just not needed. They don't. It's just too much. I would lower that dramatically so you could keep money, in the kitty and not waste the money. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I would do if I was governor, right? But I'm fiscally conscious, but I'm also conscious of who needs the money, right? I'm a realist. I also know I also know how to manage money. I'm not just trying to buy votes, but I don't know. Maybe I just know how to do things the right way. You could let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, so next up, let's do our What's in the Box contest giveaway. Again, we're giving away $1,000 here to our viewers just because you're a part of our family, just because you watch our show. Again, it's completely free to watch our show. So we're giving away $1,000 in total this time around. We've done this many times here in the past. So if you can guess what's in that box correctly, You could win $100 directly from me. We're giving away $1,000 in total, $100 to 10 people for a total of $1,000. All you got to do is guess what's in that box correctly. If you guess what's in that box correctly, you'll be entered into the pool of people who have guessed correctly. And from there, we will have 10 people picked at random to win the $100 each. Hope that makes sense. You can guess as many times as you like. You can guess right now. I'm going to give you a clue to what's in that box. Clue number 4 is the item in the box could be considered a presidential item. All right, this is clue number 4. I recommend you write them down. The item in the box could be considered a presidential item. Mark down that that's done. The item in the box could be considered a presidential item. That's clue number 4. So there'll be 10 clues. Make sure you don't miss out on any new videos. After the 10th clue, I'll be opening the box, showing you what's in the box, and showing you who the winners are. And then I'll be contacting the winners and arranging payment with them and giving them the money, and doing this again in the future. So just kind of our way of giving back to our viewers, and that's it. So let me know your thoughts. Comment down below if you think what's in the box. I get a lot of people saying that this game is so much fun, and it's a lot of fun for us too. It's just kind of a fun, like, scavenger hunt. Gets your brain thinking. Gets your kind of your mind off of everything else in life. And yeah, this is a really cool item too. Really cool item. So yeah, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And if you haven't watched this video, you need to watch this or even rewatch it. It's about all the states that are giving out stimulus checks, proposing stimulus checks, and the federal government details on stimulus checks for federal, or for the nation. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.